Moving on, we have Mr. BK Soni. He's the CMD of EcoReco, India's oldest e-waste management company. Mr. Soni, look forward to hearing your insights on e-waste management and how EcoReco can step in and collaborate with governments to improve the e-waste management conundrum we find ourselves in today.
Thank you, Afreen. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, and I would like to start with by saying that, okay, we are working in this e-waste management industry for almost 2 decades now as the India's very first recycling company in e-waste management. And we have introduced lots of solutions to offer and to provide to the industry to really get it recycled in a proper manner, the e-waste, whatever generated. The challenges are that we are more concerned with the monetary value of the waste versus the environmental impact of the same. So there is a need that it's not only the awareness to be developed, but awareness come action has to be developed, that we have to really act upon rather than only talking about the problem. And every individual knows about the problem relating to every kind of waste. But the challenge is nobody wants to take an action. And that is what exactly some speaker had talked about, the behavioral change and all. Here, I would like to submit to the individuals and the small businesses and all that they should not get attached to the value in monetary terms with their whatever waste they are generating, versus they should look at the environmental benefits, what they can derive out of this. Because we are spending a lot of money on medical expenses just because of the informal way of handling such kind of hazardous waste, which we directly don't feel, but it is really happening because it is spoiling the environment, air quality, water quality, and soil quality. So we are inhaling and drinking and eating those kind of food which are poisonous. So we should really give focus to the environmental aspect rather than the monetary aspect of the same. Secondly, I'm not against the informal workers, I'm against the informal way of handling the things. To change that, we have introduced 2 things. One is a skill development program along with the National Skill Development Corporation. And this project we have undertaken almost 6 years before to train to more than 300,000 kabadis across nation. But unfortunately, this project could not take off because much of inclination is not there of the ULBs and the municipal corporation who should really come forward to see that all the waste workers are properly trained on 3 major aspects: health, safety, and environment. We don't want to teach them on the domain expertise. They are really, really very good at their end in terms of the collection to the dismantling and all. They are well versed with that. The missing elements are health, safety, and environment, which is needed to be inculcated into them. And thereafter, we have also provided another thing that we have introduced a recycling on wheels facility, which goes to every nook and corner, can easily, safely can be driven down. And the e-waste given by the individual society or businesses can be shredded on the spot. So the person who is giving, he knows what is really going to happen with this waste. It's not going to be reused until it is reusable, until it is given for the reuse purpose. But otherwise, we are just shredding on the spot, including data devices, for the simple reason that the mobile phone and the hard disk and all contain a lot of confidential and personal information which should not be misused. So this particular recycling on wheels facility which we have introduced is really working very well, and is instead of setting up a dismantling unit and collection points, this particular facility, which is having a shredder mounted on a truck, can be deployed at every nook and corner, every place, every city, number of vehicles. Particularly the smart cities can immediately opt for this kind of solution. So they need not to set up the collection center, but the on-the-spot collection, shredding, and transporting it to the recycling facility. That reduces the burden of setting up the number of collection points. Okay, this is I would like to submit. Thirdly, about in case of the bulk consumers, the large corporate and all, they certainly are aware about the regulation and all, but unfortunately, is not being followed substantially. Merely about 7-8% of the e-waste is getting recycled in our country, and that too mainly coming 90% of that is coming primarily from the corporate sector. So why the out of 2/3 of the e-waste which is generated by the corporate sector, why only 7% is getting recycled and where 60% is going? So they have to really act very, honestly about following the regulation, and strict implementation of the rule is very essential to transform this sector. That's all from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Soni. E-waste collection remains a weak link here. Very few municipalities even collect e-waste. Some have started now, but that is also something. E-waste collection becomes a very big challenge, and your company is doing that. So kudos to that.